Alright, hello everyone. So today is going to be a fun one. We're going to be playing an ASHE board. It's been a while since I played ASHE just because I haven't been playing in general that much. These are going to be the up-to-date games now. I finally did my backlog of VODs, which were hopefully fun and entertaining for the rest of the week. We will do another tutorial this week as soon as I get the chance. It might be a little bit later in the week. I was trying to do it today. We'll do a forecast tutorial and or tier list, some kind of fun content. I want to do one fun content per week for subscribers, especially those that are new to TFT that joined, because I did get a bunch from my TFT reroll guide, so I want to do more stuff like that. In the meanwhile, it's regular scheduled content, which is the daily VOD reviews of games that go over comps and basically how to play at every step of the game. And just me like criticizing my own work, so to speak. These are going to be the up-to-date games, so right now I actually am in Diamond, so, you know, I'm kind of sad about that. I really should grind it and get the Masters badge, so that I can, you know, I'm up there, because at least for me, anything below Master doesn't really seem like I've been trying that hard, which I haven't. I've been really busy with art. I take Portable Forge. There's a bunch of new artifacts. I want to try some of them out. We'll check the stats right now, but just remember, it's like Seekers, Prowlers, this. You know, the thing is, like, even though they added a bunch of, like, new artifacts, a lot of them are really shit. Or maybe people just don't know how to play around them. But they're pretty bad, some of them. So if we look at the stats, Diamond Hands is, like, the best one, by far. Like, it's always the best one. And so is Eternal Winter. It's kind of like a debate of which one you want. I took Diamond Hands because I'd rather just have the econ. I think it gives way too much in terms of value. I got this Aphelios opener, so I just slammed IE, right? I can definitely play towards ASHE with IE. I like slamming IE early because, so this is Infinity Edge. It's really good on Kaisa. And it's really good on ASHE. So even if you don't have direction, you can kind of pick between the two of them, and you can kind of flex around the forecast pretty nicely. I also have a bow, which I can turn into a Last Whisper. Aphelios start is really strong. I'm holding these Yasuos to play Faded, and I just level here. We'll look at the stats on Diamond Hands in a second. I think that the next couple rounds are really like high octane, so I just want to make sure that I go over them with a little bit of a fine-tooth comb. So I have a pretty strong opener because hitting an Aphelios makes it really easy to play Faded, and Aphelios is one of the best Faded to play. Darius, even though they nerfed this unit, it's still really strong, and Diamond Hands actually, because it's like, in its essence, it's like a frontline item, but it's also an AP item. It works really well on Darius, right? So I'm just trying to get my money up. I'm holding some stuff on bench. If I don't win the fight, I will sell something. I'm holding this Kog'Maw because in case I play like the Lilia ASHE board, the Kog'Maw is important. I'm holding the Senna in case I hit like a Senna 2, then I could just like carry Senna 2 into the mid game. I'm just keeping my options open. Here, I haven't upgraded the Yasuo. Right now, I'm making 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could just make 20 here. The thing is, there's a couple people that are really strong that I might play, and because I have Yone 2, I actually just double level straight to level 5. It's a little bit inefficient, but I'll still be making 10 gold, right? It's like, do I want to make 10 or do I want to make 20? Making 20 is good for long term. I feel very strongly that with a Faded opener, with this Aphelios, I can win all of stage 2. So I think it's way more valuable not to lose my streak randomly and instead to just level and get Faded in. Because this Faded, the Faded opener is really, really strong. So you see this done sometimes. It's a very rare case. This is like one of the, like, probably the one in like 10, 20 games that I ever would do this. It's a really aggressive use of gold. I like to use my gold aggressively. Because I just like to try my hardest to streak early, preserve HP early. I feel like if I have more lives and more like opportunity late game, I really get stressed when I'm like low HP and I have to play from behind. Because then like randomly somebody just like high rolls and then you just like lose all your placements. I'd rather just like be high HP. If someone high rolls, then okay, I'll just drop a little bit, but I'll still like place in the top 4. I take a cloak here. Cloak isn't necessarily the best item. It is loot subscription, so there will be some wild shit going on maybe this game, which I'm not sure about. And like I said, I'm a little bit behind on gold. I could have made 20 and then make 30 and then make like 40, 50. But honestly, like having the streak with the HP, I think now like guaranteeing that I win that round, because I could have fought this guy who was like extremely strong. I probably would have lost him if I didn't level for this Yasuo, just because, or sorry, if I didn't level for this Ahri, just because my Yasuo contributes a lot to the front line, and I really want to get that shield on him, even if he has 0 item. So it works out that I'll probably 5-streak this game, which is pretty cool. It's been a really long time. I can't remember the last time I actually 5-streaked in this current meta. It's been at least like, even the last time I played it was a while before I 5-streaked. So it's actually pretty cool. I'm really excited because this might be a game where I'm like abnormally rich. So I always like those games where I'm strong early and I'm rich late, and it's nice. Here there's an encounter. So it's Janna with Treasure Armory. I would like to review this just to see what I ended up picking, if it was a good decision. So Bramble is good for frontline. I'm kind of looking for, honestly, I really want a belt or a glove. Thieves Gloves is really good here. This was really tempting because Thieves Gloves on this would be really strong. But basically, I probably could have taken that. Yeah, Steadfast and thing. This one just worked out better. That was a little bit greedy. I think the better option was Steadfast and Glove. Right? This one worked out too because I get a Guinsoo. The Guinsoo is a bit forcing because Guinsoo isn't good on Kai'Sa. Now I'm either gonna play Aphelios Faded with the Guinsoo, or I'm playing Ashe. Right? I kind of lose that Kai'Sa option, which is a little bit awkward, but it does make me really strong now because Guinsoo is very good on Aphelios. I really don't like the placement of this. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's move it back to, we can put it like, let's just put it back over here. Anyway, so I 5-streaked into, let's put it like right there. That's good. So we 5-streaked into neutrals, which is pretty nice. Oh my. We 5-streaked into neutrals. Another option I could have done is itemize the Caitlyn, but I just think the Caitlyn does so much less damage in terms of like playing around the Aphelios instead. Especially with Faded. I'm still making 40. I'll probably make 50 this turn. And now I can kind of like make my items to like figure out exactly what I'm doing. I'll probably make Runans here. So the reason I'll make a Runans is just because a Guinsoo Runans is really good in stats. We'll look at Ashe items after, and we'll look at the Diamond Hands in a second. We're gonna wait for this augment, and we'll do all of that. So I just slam Runans. I probably make Protector's Vow. I think Protector's Vow is really good on a lot of units. Oh, Crown Guard's also good. Crown Guard's better on Darius, I think, because the AP is really nice. If you can look, this is a really good game because not only do I have a lot of items slammed, I have my 3 items for my carry already. I have Shred dealt with. I just don't have anti-heal right now. That's why I probably would have made Protector's Vow. Holding on to the Rod. Rod could make Morello, which is an anti-heal item. This tier cannot make an anti-heal item. So if I were going to optimize a little bit, I would put a Protectors on this guy. This is the guy who's really strong. I lose my streak now. That's fine. I'm already making 50 gold, and I streaked all of stage 2, so I'm extremely healthy. This guy's just like, I don't know, it's just so fucking strong. Look at this shit. He has 3 items, upgraded unit, better frontline than me, and the extra kale that I have to kind of chew through is pretty bad. Branching out is really good, just because the attack speed and the armor. Out of all of the things, like I could have maybe taken like Fine Vintage. Actually, I could have tapped. There's some tech with Fine Vintage, but I don't think it works here. I've seen Faded Fine Vintage work really well. But instead, I just take a combat, and now I feel really strong. Anyways, that being said, small message, and then we'll look at stats. Thank you for all the support. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. We're going to have an RP giveaway at 500 subs. We just finished our previous giveaway, so make sure to subscribe if you want to be entered in that. And follow the instructions when we get close to our goal. Thank you. Alright, so in terms of stats, so I just sorted by Ornn items here, just an average placement. As well as if you look at top 4%, so either if you look at placement, top 4 actually is pretty bad. No, it's like placement is, yeah, placement smaller number, top 4% bigger number. Diamond Hands is usually the best, and Eternal Winter is really good. Eternal Winter basically just stuns if you attack a bunch of times, so especially in like today's meta where it's like front to back line, having an Eternal Winter, it really like impacts the backline units and the carries. It's a really strong counter against like both trick shots and Ashe, as well as like a lot of melee carries, so it works out really well. And Diamond Hands is just like the Giga item because it's like a really good frontline item. It's always been really strong, and it grants 1 gold. So I ended up taking Diamond Hands because it is the best item. The other options were pretty bad, I think. So I didn't take them. There's a lot of these Ornn items that they just added that are pretty like abysmal. So I just kind of went towards Diamond Hand. Now if we go on Explorer and we go Ashe, let's go like an Ashe 2. Let's say I'm playing towards like an Ashe 2, for example. The best items, if we just go by craftable, it's usually Guinsoo. Last Whisper is pretty good, but I had the opportunity to make Even Shroud, and Runaan's works really well in conjunction with Guinsoo. Infinity Edge, they're all like minus delta, so they're all pretty good. They all improve your placement on average if you have these items on your Ashe. So I really like the item set that I went with, and that's kind of like the thought process that I was having. So now if we go back to the game, we're just trying to play a strong board. I lost against that guy, but my board is still really strong because I have this faded opener. Now the other option that I can do, like obviously if you don't play towards Ashe, you could just keep in the Aphelios and play 5 faded and carry Aphelios 2 and then try and go fast 9. Right, that is an option. Aphelios 2 can carry you on stage 4. You might lose a couple fights, so you can only do it from like a high HP position. But you can keep an Aphelios 2 for a while, which is actually really nice. It won't win you the game, obviously. But you also, like, you know, you have the option of, like, okay, if I'm, like, losing too many fights, I'm too low HP, I can just roll for Aphelios 3. If you don't hit the, if you don't want to go for Aphelios 3, then you can just, try and go for, like, a set, and then play, like, a 7 faded kind of setup. And then dual carry with a Syndra, so then all your later items are just gonna be Syndra items. Here I just take a belt. Once again, I don't have anti-heal, but I think I'm just kind of like prioritizing just being strong. Here I switch out the pairing, so I put in Kindred with the Rek'Sai to try and get some Dryad stacks in early. The reason is just a lot of times like I might be playing Ornn later, or Nazir, so getting some early Dryad stacks is fine. I'm best friends. I lose a little bit of best friends value right here, by the way. I tried to move it, but I wasn't fast enough. I pair Aphelios with Kindred just because I'm trying to do more damage. I think my front line with 3 of these units and Diamond Hands is strong enough. I just need to like increase the attack speed and the damage of this guy, so I just use the Kindred pairing here. I think it's really nice to I think now that they like nerfed a lot of the strong faded pairings, there's a lot of other faded pairings that work out really well. So like a lot of times if you're playing Syndra, you usually pair Syndra and Ahri now. If you're playing Aphelios Kindred can work sometimes, but usually you still do like the Thresh and the other dude just to make sure. Set's pretty bad now, so a lot of times you don't pair Set anymore. So there's a little bit of creativity. You just kind of have to think about it. I think that because I still have Aphelios 1, I think I care more about him just doing a little bit more damage. And speak of the devil, we hit Aphelios 2, which is great for us. The game's been pretty smooth sailing. Obviously, this is something that happens when you get like a faded opener, right? Preserving and having these faded openers is extremely strong for your late game. Here, I'm thinking of sacrificing 1 gold of interest just to level. I might be able to make interest again. This is the value of Diamond Hands. You see a lot of these times where I'm close on econ, having the 1 gold per round really allows you to play these like really aggressive tempo leveling. See, so like here, I off tempo level, as you can see. Usually you level on certain intervals to make sure that you hit it exactly, because this is like wasted gold, right? Like if you level and you overshoot a little bit, so here I overshot by 2 because it wasn't like a proper round to level. You basically throw away some opportunities, especially like some rolling opportunities, because especially like when you get to like, for example, level 8, if you're stuck on level 8 and you roll at you level at an awkward interval, then you're just wasting gold because like this EXP goes nowhere. But the thing is, I'm so rich because of diamond hands. I'm still making 50 gold, so for me there's like no reason not to just like play a stronger board. I had a Silas which gave me Bruiser, which buffs my whole board. Like, look at this board, right? Like, this is a board where I can easily fast 9, right? Now, I'll probably roll a little bit on 8 just to guarantee, like, a good placement. I could have greeded, especially being highest HP in the lobby. I can definitely, like, greed to go level 9 instead. But, yeah. I also have 5 faded, right? I'm holding on to this Ari always, even though, like, you might see that, like, my, what's it called? My team planner is this Ashe board, but I'm holding on to this Ari, right? I'm playing wide, right? If I hit a Syndra and I hit Ari and I hit Set, it's like, fuck it, I'll just play Aphelios for the rest of the game, right? If I hit the Ashe, I'll play the Ashe, right? I get Artifact Anvil. It's either Anima Visage or Trickster's Glass. I think I end up just taking Trickster's Glass. I think both of these two are pretty shit in terms of stats. So yeah, also just so you know, it's a loot subscription. That's how I got this artifact. It's not just like the game bugged out. Trickster's on a frontline unit is fine. I repositioned to make sure that I get all of my my best friends valuing, and I held on to this belt, right? And I made a thing. I made a Sunfire. Well, no, sorry, I didn't hold on to the belt. I got dropped a Sunfire. I made Redemption before. But if you look, my items, I slammed everything. Everybody has items. It makes coherent sense. Everything's great. So this game worked out really well. Like the item choices and what I chose to make, it all kind of synergized really well. I hit everything, right? A lot of times you need like a balance of utility, front line, and back line. I'm just super item rich this game. A lot of it also comes from having like the extra Ornn item, because the first augment I took was an item augment. Here, ideally, I want a combat augment. I didn't hit really any combat augment. I took Capricious Forge just because I thought it would be fun with the new artifacts. This is my first time playing the patch with the new artifacts, so I really wanted to just like push using as many of these as possible because I thought it would be fun. So I rolled down on level 8. I'm rolling deep because I'm Ashe paired already. So it's like, oh, I guess I'll just like I guess I'll just get the Ashe, right? So now that I hit the Ashe, I'm slowly pivoting my board. I'm putting in this guy. I have one extra Dryad. I have this random Silas, but it's fine, right? The board isn't perfect, right? I don't have like Mythic in. I don't even have Porcelain in, but it was a pretty good roll down, right? I hit Udyr, so I just put the Capricious Forge on the Udyr. I put the items on the Annie just because I felt like they're a little bit better on Annie. Annie's usually like the main tank in this comp, and then I put the utility on Ornn. I should be very strong, right? I'm also still making 30 gold, so it wasn't even that deep of a roll. I definitely high rolled into this Ashe, but I think that's what happens when like the lobby isn't playing towards Ashe in general. This guy, it's crazy, this guy. So this guy's 50 gold. Sorry, it's 50 HP, like 30 gold, not Nico 3. Like, he ends up winning the fucking lobby. I think Drop Blossom is broken again. I know I made some videos on it. Like, I don't know how. I know it's a little bit spoiler if you guys are watching it for entertainment value. If you are, please let me know in the comments if you want me to like tell you the outcome of the game ahead of time, because I think like the thumbnails usually spoil it anyways. That's why I don't really care. Anyways, I had a Lysandra. Isn't that wild? Yeah, but this game I don't go first, so I actually want to VOD review it as well. Like I think I played the game, like I played my opener really well. I think like when you have these strong openers, it's really important to like understand how to play around it. I think like leveling, my off-tempo leveling was all good in this game. Maybe like a pro player will look at me and think I'm a fucking idiot, but I think playing the tempo that I did was good. I felt like I always played a super strong board. I preserved way too much HP. I'm super healthy. I'm fairly rich with diamond hands. I think a lot of it is just getting diamond hands early. Makes you in like these what feels like a high roll position. But I also held the units to play wide, right? Like if I didn't hit this Ashe and I hit a Syndra, I would have just stuck with Aphelios and just play 5 faded, right? It would have been fine. Here I'd probably take like a glove. I think one thing that I run into as a problem late game is that it's hard to cap my board because I just have so many items. Because of the way loot subscription worked out, I just don't have people to put items on. A Nautilus is nice. But I'm not really playing like a Warden because I'm playing the lists. Let's see here. I think it's crazy. Like, what happened? I think my lobby kind of trolled, honestly. Because I think that I did what I could, and then I just ran into an unfortunate situation. I'm curious to how the game plays out from here. I don't have any upgrades to my front line, but I have so many frontline units. If you look at it, I have like, what is it? I have, because of the Trickster's Glass as well, I have like 8 frontline units. I have like 6 frontline units. The Silas wraps my back line, so I just kind of get scammed this fight, which kind of sucks. I think for sure I can win this fight if my Ashe lived a little bit longer, but probably not actually. This guy sent it pretty deep. He's Silas 2 and Kaisa 2, right? Like I said, I didn't have any front line, so this Silas just killed something and then just wrapped here and got to my Ashe. But that's fine because I'm 50 gold. I'm going straight to 9, right? I want to completely cap out my board. I have a list pair already, which is nice. And we're just going to play around that. I'm just trying to like shuffle my units a little bit. Trying to optimize the position a little bit better. Right now my Ornn is trying to drop items onto this Silas because he already has 1 item, right? This has full items, this has full items. So that's why I'm kind of isolating these two. Obviously I'm positioning around best friends as well. I'm trying to give like everybody best friends value. This was pretty bad positioning because this set might dive my backline, just kill everything. Yeah. Hopefully my Ashe can clean up shop here. Oh, this is kind of scary. Oh no, I have way too much damage. This is good. Nice. A lot of people are holding Lilias, which is also a little bit of a problem, but it should be fine. Lilia isn't that important. As you can see, like, I'm not playing, like, you know, the team planner. You know, if you haven't seen it already, you usually play Lilia on this board, and you have Mythic. So you play, like, Amumu, Lilia, Nautilus, right? You usually play, like, this little set of 3 in place of some of the other units. Here, I already hit this Udyr. So I really want to play this Udyr, and he doesn't really fit with all of these. And because I have an Udyr and I hit a Liss, I'm not playing a Mumu for that reason. And because I'm not playing a Mumu, I don't have a Lilia. And I have a Nautilus, but there's no reason for me to swap it out because this Udyr 1 is better than the Nautilus 1. Right, for sure. It's just a better unit. I just make a Crown Guard here. So I can make Crown Guard TG with my item drop. So I make Crown Guard TG. If you look at my board, like, everybody has so many items. This is a problem I run into a bit later because I think loot subscription dropped some more items. This was a very item heavy game, right? And then I also took 2 item augments. I wanted, in an ideal world, I would have taken combat augments, but it just worked out like that. Like, there's nothing I can really do. So it kind of sucks, but it is what it is. 88 gold, by the way. I'm kind of greeting my level. I'm 82 HP, so I don't feel too worried, and I still think that I'm pretty strong relative to the lobby, right? I have such good front line. I have so many items. Even though my front line isn't upgraded, I do have like a lot of ability to like do this. This guy not dying is such a problem, by the way. Like, I think the rest of my lobby, I don't know what they were doing. I think, you know what I think happened? I don't mean this in a disrespectful way. I think that, like, I didn't play for a really long time. So now, like, a lot of the people that know how to play the patch really well upgraded their, like, leveled up. Like, they made it to, like, you know, Diamond 3, Diamond 2, Diamond 1. And because I haven't played the patch and I've just been in, like, Diamond 4, I'm noticing, like, people making, like, weird mistakes. And I'm like, yo, this guy, like, what is he playing? This doesn't look good. Like, it doesn't look good, right? Anyways, I find a Lilia, so then I put in the Nautilus because I pivot my board because now I'm level 9 and I can fit in everything. I still don't play the Amumu just because, like, my board's kind of full. I do have 2 porcelain, but I don't think I'm playing 4 porcelain right now. So it's a little bit awkward. The 3 invoker, I want to switch the I'm gonna switch the Rek'Sai that's randomly on my board. Also, the Syndra board, by the way, this comp is really strong. This guy's Syndra items aren't good though. So it should fall off later when I have more upgrades. By the way, like, you usually don't want to play Nashor's and a mana item on Syndra. You usually want to put, like, I think Syndra Abyss's double adaptive helm. Anyways, I find the Azir, so now my board's kind of complete. It's a little bit awkward because typically you play like 4 porcelain and you play like Lux Amumu to synergize with this Nautilus, but Nautilus isn't my main tanks. My main tanks are the Annie and the Ornn, just the way it worked out. So this Udyr actually pays a lot of dividends, and that's why I'm not playing the Amumu for right now, at least, right? Okay, I think the problem is I lack like explosive damage, right? Like, my Ashe is like ramping up and she's doing like a lot of multi-hit, but I don't have explosive damage, right? My explosive damage is this Azir, right? So I really need to hit like Azir too. Usually, like, you have Lilia or Azir itemize it. What I mean by explosive damage is you need to do like a chunk, like a single target chunk. Ashe does like a multi-hit, right? And I think that's where my board kind of lacks damage. That's why this board is really important to like get to level 9. And you either want to hit Azir or you want to hit the Lilia. Here I think I fuck up my item choice, by the way. So this guy just gets a heavenly spat, which is just like, what the fuck. Anyways, I take the Arcanist emblem because in my head I was like, I'm missing Arcanist and this might be my final board. So it just buffs the whole board, right? The other option was Rabadon's for Azir. In my head, I was like, oh, it's probably better just to take Arcanist emblem here because I either buff this guy for like single target or I buff my whole board by giving my whole board AP, right? And I have a lot of like valuable units, so I'd rather give my whole board AP. Also, Hull Crusher. I didn't notice Hull Crusher. Sorry, that's my bad. Hull Crusher, you want this guy to be isolated. It's probably better than best friends value, honestly. Actually, maybe not. The Annie kind of wants the best friends value. Oh, this guy's playing Vertical Story Weaver. This is what I mean. It's like lines like this. It's like he can clearly cap his board a lot higher because he has like a Story Weaver emblem. But it's like, I feel like it's just like, you know, like you can play around this Duelist emblem a lot better. And I'm farming some components with the Lissa as well now, which is just like toxic because I already have like full items almost. But yeah, this Azir is actually really important. I think that's what happens late game. I start experimenting a little bit and things don't work out. Like, this guy's spot was so bad, and then I think he just won out, which feels kind of sad. Luna offers me more items. Like, there's a TG here, but like I don't have anybody left to TG, right? I can TG like this or this, so I think a Rabadon's is probably the best. Nashor's is okay as well. Yeah, I end up just taking Nashor's. I think Nashor's for like this guy. It was probably Rabadon's on him anyways. But in my head, I was like, if I don't get a mana item, I'd rather have an attack speed granting item to make sure he casts a little bit. So I took Nashor's instead. I definitely think Rabadon's is better. I didn't probably identify. This is just being rusty in general. Like, if I'm playing like on my game, like we're playing like pros, right? If I'm playing like masters level, it's like I have to identify this guy being really important to the team comp, right? Like, the Ashe and the Giga frontline is strong, but in the lobby, like especially against like boards like this where there's like a Syndra and Faded, right? And there's units that are like Giga tanks just because they have a bunch of stats. You really want to have a single target damage user as well. See, like here, a lot of times is that the Ashe can't chew through fast enough. My Ashe is scaling, but she's single target, but she's like doing like multi-hit. You want somebody to just do explosive damage because you want them not to have a chance to heal up, right? You want them not to have a chance to like recover their HP or to make a new shield or to omnivamp. Like, you want none of that shit, right? Here, they're playing 7 Faded and they're pairing the set, so the whole board has omnivamp, right? So my Ashe just starts tickling the frontline units, and if they don't die, like if they just don't die instantly, then they just heal back up, and I run into that problem. That's why the dual carries are really important, right? I didn't properly identify it. Hold on to a couple Lilias in this Syndra because I don't want this guy to hit Syndra 3. He's holding a couple Syndras on his bench. I hit the Lilia, Now I run into this awkward situation. I hit the Lilia, and then I get a spat. So everything's just all fucked up now. Because now I have a spat, right? I can make a mythic emblem, but I can't. Like, mythic would have probably been the best here, because, like, Nautilus is probably my weakest unit. I can make a porcelain emblem, obviously. I get a mana item, so I'm just gonna put a mana item on Azir to make sure he casts faster. That's why I probably should have done the other thing. Here, this is a little bit of a problem. Yeah, that's a little bit of a problem. So I had to sell my Azir pair to make this Lilia. I'm probably going to switch items off now. Everything's just a mess. That was just a bad turn. That was just such a bad, such a poorly played turn. I think that turn is what cost me the game, right? So first of all, I see this list, which is really important. Let's just break it down. So I rolled a little bit too deep. I see this list, and I'm list paired, Udyr paired. I'm holding these 2 Syndras to make sure that the Syndra guy doesn't hit, because I don't want to lose to a 3-star, because that always happens. Making this Nashers, it was good at the moment, but then because I got a Shojin, it's like Shojin is probably good, but the problem is now my Azir lacks like massive damage. Arcanist Emblem is probably the throw here, because it would have been better just to have 3 full items on this dude. I'm rolling really deep on level 9 because I'm trying to guarantee winning, because I was losing against a couple of these guys. Now I have Porcelain Emblem, right? So I want to play 4 Porcelain. It might be drop this Udyr 1, right? So I definitely want to keep the Azir pair, right? Because even though I have this, it's like Azir 2 is really important. So I probably sell either a Syndra or the or this guy, right? Because the thing is, I can swap out the Udyr for an Amumu, because 4 Porcelain is really strong. And then I can Porcelain Emblem like my backline unit, right? I think I do none of that, right? I'm pretty sure I do none of that. I just kind of panic. I sell the Azir. I put the Porcelain on the frontline unit, right? Do you see how I did everything? Everything that I said now in hindsight sounds really like smart, and everything that I did looks really dumb because of it. It might have looked good when I did it, but Porcelain Emblem, I used to always prio Porcelain Emblem on frontline. That's a little bit of like a legacy thing, because back in PBE, as well as like early patch, like early set, Porcelain was just really, really good on frontline units just to do like the damage reduction. The thing is, I have such good frontline, and I'm lacking backline explosive damage, that it's better to just put on like either the Azir or the Lilia. So that kind of sucked. See, even this match I kind of lose again, because I'm just lacking damage, right? I'm not lacking frontline, I'm lacking damage. So not identifying that I'm lacking damage is a problem, right? And now I find this Azir, and I'm kind of in an awkward situation of like, I want to win these fights, so I really need to like get my backline damage online. I sell the Azir again because I'm not upgrading the Azir, and now I upgrade the Udyr. So now I'm stuck with this Udyr. I have a spat that I'm not using, right? Because like I'm 3 Porcelain, it doesn't even matter, right? I need to swap out somebody for like Lux or some shit. And I have 3 item on a 0-1, 0 item Lilia 2. So what I'm, it's like, spoiler alert, what I'm going to end up doing is transferring these items onto the Lilia. But it's like the Azir just does way more damage if I have a 0-2. So I sold a Azir twice because I'm just panicking, trying to make sure that I don't lose any more HP. Right? I know I have a lot of HP to work with. I could have like chilled here. I'm like spamming to buy the Alune because the other guy hasn't hit Alune 3 yet. So I just want to like buy it before when the round ends. And then I beat this guy, right? So if you look at this fight, I was trying to teapot the Nico, but instead I teapot another unit on his board, and it kind of worked out better. And I kind of roll this guy completely, right? Like if you look at his board, he's level 8, right? He's level 840. He's not even rich. He's not even like he has nothing going for him, right? Like he's not like that strong, right? I kind of cleanly beat him, right? Obviously, okay, it's not like exactly clean, but like, you know what I mean? It's not like he was winning. Now I'm in an awkward spot. Like I have List 2, I have Udyr 2. All of these are really strong. I need to drop somebody to play 4 Porcelain, because 4 Porcelain is a spike, kind of. I also don't even have Nautilus paired. I have a Porcelain Emblem on a Nautilus 1. Like, what was I thinking? It's obviously Porcelain Emblem on at least the Lilia, right? I'm so bad sometimes. But this is why I don't go first, right? These couple mistakes, like even from a really strong opener, I'm pointing out the mistakes because, you know, when I point them out, I'll remember them so that next time I'm not doing dumb things. And then also for people that are playing, like, you know, people that are watching the video, hello friends and people, family, homies, subscribers. It helps you understand, because if I make a big deal about this and I'm showing like that I make mistakes like this, it's important for you to self-analyze and look at your games and say, okay, yeah, this is what I need to identify as my win con. This was similar to that video I watched by Fenrir, and he said that I should have done this differently, and then you can not make these mistakes and you rank up even better than me. I kind of threw away so many placements. Do I take Spark with Nautilus? It's probably Spark with Nautilus. Don't take the Shojin. Oh, it was Spark with Nautilus. I need more damage, right? My front line's fine, but the Nautilus, I need a Nautilus too, because I have 2 items on Nautilus. At least I can switch over if I get a Nautilus 1. Ugh. I took the Shojin to put on Lilia, because I'm imagining I can double, like, itemize, like, both of them. I guess this is fine. Shojin's fine. But the problem is I'm probably going to have to sell this Azir anyways, because I need to move an item. Do I have to sell the Azir? Not really. Like, who do I lose here is the problem. Because the Udyr is the problem right now. Because usually you can play 4 Porcelain without the Udyr on the board. Right? The problem is I don't want to lose. I can't lose Ashe, Lilia. Like, Nautilus is the only one that's kind of doing nothing. But he does stun. So it's like important to have him on the board. I am so strong, right? Like, I have such a good upgraded board. And I have so much tempo. Sorry, I bumped my mic. That I feel like I should have won this game. I lose against the Alune board again. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm just kind of bleeding out. This guy lost a fight. Oh, who did he lose? I should beat him. Yeah, I'm just too weak because I'm just inefficient. I find the Amumu. Honestly, it's just it's the problem is it's Udyr 2. Udyr 2 is so strong. It's probably, yeah, it feels bad, but it's that. Yeah, I think this is the right choice. Ugh. Oh, it hurts. Oh, it hurts. I don't know if this is weaker. It sucks because, like, I would have preferred to have, like, instead of this Lilia with Mythic, it's like, fuck that. It's like, I don't really care. I'd much rather have had Azir 2 with these items instead of this Lilia 2, and I think I win the game. I think that's my problem. And then here, I don't know how this guy caps so high. I think he just got a Reaper for Kayn or something. But if you look at this guy's board, it's just because I don't have the damage to kill the Neeko, right? The Neeko takes so much less damage when she's hovering in the air that I just can't break through it. So now he's officially a little bit stronger than me. Because like 4 Invoker, it's like it's fine, right? But it's not like essential, right? The 4 Porcelain is way stronger. The Porcelain should be on a backline unit. I should have a Nautilus 2 by now, but I don't. Also, I want to see this guy's board, because his board is actually very strong, considering how, like, he's on level 8, I'm pretty sure, right? No, he's level 9 now. What does his board have? Let me see. It's because, also the Heavenly Spat was so big. The Neeko buff with the Heavenly is so big, because now Heavenly units gain so many more stacks, I think, that it works out really well. He's only 5 Heavenly, though. He's not even, like, Giga Heavenly. 5 Heavenly, 4 Ghostly, 3 Mythic. Like, it doesn't even seem like that good of a board. Like, look at his board. It's not even that good. He has, like, Ornn 1, this 1, this 1, this 2. I can't beat this with all legendaries. Like, that's on me. That's not even the game's fault. That's like, what the fuck did I do? But it's just the damage. It's literally just the explosive damage. I just need to, like, kill more units faster and overwhelm the Neeko, but I just don't. Right? I let the Neeko cast too many times and then my backline dies. So I kind of threw away the placements. It should have been a first. I should have never sold the Azirs. I should have held on to the Azir. The Azir 2 was the win con. And that's just rust, right? In my head, I was like, oh, I'll probably be fine with, like, a Lilia 2. I have, like, all these upgrades, right? But it doesn't matter how many upgrades you have. You have to be thematic. You have to understand why the upgrades matter, right? It doesn't matter that I have an Ornn 2. It doesn't matter that I have this guy 2. It doesn't matter that I have a List 2. It doesn't matter that I have an Ashe 2. It doesn't matter. Like, I just needed a little bit more, like, giga damage, right? And the Lilia doesn't cut it. Especially with this Arcanist emblem, it really doesn't matter. Like, the Arcanist emblem is really not good for anything. right? And the front line doesn't matter because the Nico AoE gets big enough that she kills the back line. And then like I have too many items so that now I'm just kind of fucked. And then I didn't roll deep enough right here, so I think I just die this turn. I would like to analyze this fight a little bit. I'm trying to teapot the Nico here with the Lissandra, but it actually isn't good, right? I shouldn't teapot the Nico because I'm not going to kill the Nico anyways. I should be teapotting the other units, like the Nautilus, just to guarantee their death. But as you can see here, I'm just getting stunned. The Nico's still alive. It's not even close. It's a feels bad because now he has Morgana too. Like, yes, it's very strong, but like my board should have won, and I think it's just a matter of like a little bit more damage. Obviously, maybe I don't win, but like look at this board. It's not even that good, right? Like, yeah, it's like Heavenly Cane with a Nico, so like the Cane does a lot, and like it does synergize. Like, you know, he got the Reaper emblem, which was like insanely good for him, but yeah, you know, that's on me. Anyways, hopefully this was fun, especially like I think it was really informative and good early game, right? I think it was really nice to see like playing around tempo, leveling aggressively, playing really strong boards, making good decisions, and then like I kind of just fumble it at level 9, right? I kind of roll a little bit too deep, I get a little bit too poor. I don't identify my win con really well, which is that I need a 0-2 here for like really strong single target, and then you know, it's probably like even like fuck this, just a 0 and Hui, right? Like even a Hui would be good because the AoE would be really nice, like if I found like a Hui 2 or something. But anyways, like these parts are a little bit expendable, right? I could have also played like a different sniper. Yeah, I could have definitely capped the board, play maybe Exalted. I don't think Exalted was good this game. But anyways, hopefully this was fun. Thank you for watching and have a great rest of your day, whatever it is that you are doing.